After tomatoes, peppers are my most important crop. I grow a variety of peppers and plenty of them. I have two kinds of jalapenos, Anaheim's, a mild hot pepper, habaneros, although these are actually this season's experimental peppers, habanadas, a heatless version of the famous hot peppers, and five kinds of sweet bell peppers. Some years I also add in serranos or poblanos, but not this season. We mostly use them in cooking, but eat some raw during the growing season. Scott, the homestead spouse, especially likes eating jalapenos right out of the garden. I'm Marcy McDonald from Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today I'm going to show you what I do with the extras that we don't use immediately. I'm going to be chopping them up and freezing them on a cookie sheet. Well, you can use a cookie sheet, or I use bar pans. The nice thing about bar pans is you can set them on top of each other, so you can do two layers when you stick them in the freezer. I've already cleared out a spot in their freezers, so we can just stick those in as soon as we're done cutting everything up. So first I have a nice fat bell pepper here. It's got a little bit of damage to it, so I'll cut that out. And then we'll just cut it up into pieces. Here we go. No rot or anything inside, so just pull off the membrane, pull out the seeds. We pre-cut the peppers and then we freeze them on the sheets so we can stick them in Ziploc bag to be doled out as we need to for recipes, or we'll put them in vacuum sealed bags so that they're, again, recipe ready. So in the middle of winter, you can take peppers that you've grown in your very own garden, which tastes a lot better than store-bought, and throw them in your chilies or stews or whatever you would like to use bell peppers for. I try to cut them up in fairly even sized pieces so they'll cook evenly. It's not an exact science and doesn't have to be. Because it's cooking. So these are Anaheim peppers. These are a little spicier than your standard bell peppers, so we're going to cut them and keep them separately. And you just cut out the stem. Split the pepper. Because we're doing sweet peppers, we don't need gloves. Shouldn't be any problem. And cut it into strips. Normally I do this outside, but we're having a heat wave, so it's a little too warm out there. Do it outside, and if the seeds go flying all over, it doesn't really matter because they're outside. Less clean. Now that we have them cut up, we just spread them on the cookie sheet. On a good thin layer so they don't stick together. Okay, and the rest will go into a container in the refrigerator until these are frozen, and then I will do this again with the rest of them. Now pulled the frozen peppers out of the freezer. Our freezer goes to minus 10 Fahrenheit, so I'm using a pot holder. Under my fingers with the cold. Labeling is very important. You know how long they've been in the freezer, so you know which ones to use first. So we have a nifty contraption we found that makes it easier to load a zip bag when you're doing it solo. You don't need one of these. You can just have a friend hold it or what have you, but I'm solo today, so use this. I like the zip bags because then you can just measure out how much you actually need at any one time for a recipe. The downside is using a zip bag doesn't keep it vacuum sealed, so you get freezer burn a little more easily than if you use a vacuum seal. There's probably better ways of doing this, but we're learning as we go, and this has worked fairly well, so this is the way I've been doing things. And there we are. They're ready to go back into the freezer until we're ready to use them.
I already had 2 cups in from the last bag.
Thanks for watching. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.